Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice for the week of April the 1st, 2021. The most important news is that there was a new update for Injustice, an update to version 3.4 with no major content, but we have right here the update description, and it says, free rewards, rewarded videos, and offer walls are back. Watch videos to earn power credits and refresh energy, or complete offers to earn even more power credits. The minimum iOS version has been raised to iOS 9. Players on unsupported versions will not get rewarded videos and offer walls, but they will still be able to play their game. And then general game optimizations, bug fixes, and privacy updates. As always, thank you for playing Injustice Gods Among Us.
So it could be a really cruel April Fool's Day joke, but apparently it seems like it's legitimate. We've upgraded, but maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. I'm not seeing any of these new offers.
Yeah, the reward videos, definitely not.
Yeah.
To get your energy back, right? We're checked.
Yeah. And we've haven't had a chance to test all the glitches, so I figured it was more important to actually get this video out and do the stuff that we have talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the things that we have tested.
Yeah.
Than it was to wait till everything was done. Because there's still the events that are happening each week that we want to get everybody up to date on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go ahead and get through stuff, and we'll focus on what we have tested, and then next week hopefully we'll have a more comprehensive list of everything.
Right.
But you can also help us out in the comments if you want by going through any of the stuff that we haven't tested yet.
Right.
So to start off, the current challenge is for Blackest Night Hawkgirl. That is a 1-week repeat. The required characters are Batman, Joker, and Nightwing at gold, silver, and bronze, respectively, if you're looking at the lowest tier to get them. Her passive is Necrotic Life Force, which is Hawkgirl receives 15% health back when anyone in the battle is knocked out, and any Blackest Night character who is knocked out on Hawkgirl's team will resurrect once with 20% health. She's got 1,240 attack and 1,360 health.
Right.
She was last available in June of 2020.
Good high stats, as you'd expect from one of the later game editions. High stats. They're uncommon base stats, actually. It's weird. It's because it's not a multiple of 50 or 100.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but they add up to a multiple of 100.
Mm-hmm.
She's part of what makes a Blackest Night team, specifically Blackest Night Flash, so annoying. Because she gives a resurrection with a little bit of health, but his passive means that he gets resurrected with 100% health.
Yeah, so you basically get 80% health, and you get that sort of one-time immunity against a big hit that would normally eat past your health.
Yeah.
And it just it gives you the resurrection, and it doesn't take any more than sort of just what it did to take you down to 0.
So if it weren't for Blackest Night Flash, who is probably to me the most important Blackest Night teammate to have, if it weren't for him, she wouldn't be nearly as good. I mean, it's okay to get a little bit of health. It's okay to revive. Well, it's more than okay. I'm sort of downplaying a little bit, but it's really, her passive is all defensive.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of playing defensively. It doesn't really increase the offensive potential, except in this case where by making Flash a little hardier without using up one of his gear slots.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, I don't find Hawkgirls in general great fighters. It's usually their abilities that are the most important part of making them a teammate, and this one's no different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what you're looking at really is 3 free resurrections for her and her 2 teammates on a Blackest Night team at no cost of a gear slot, which is not bad.
Mm. So it's pretty good, yeah, overall. It's if you have a Blackest Night team, she's good. If you don't, obviously, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Her other passive for herself, who cares?
Yeah. Because usually when you want to make a team more defensive, you're giving up gear slots for it, and it's actually not bad to have a passive on a character that may not be your main damage dealer, but can be somebody sitting around. And you know how, in general, tanks are easier to build than an offensive.
Yeah, because anybody can be a tank with the right gear.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So in multiplayer, we have the Cloak, which becomes the Cloak of Destiny, and that gives you a 50% crit boost, so 50% more damage on crit attacks, 200% damage increase against stunned opponents, and the evolved ability, which is a 20% stun chance on tag-in. It was the last available in September of 2020, so we're still on our cycle. We expect to see Blackest Night Flash next week for a reward.
Right. And this was probably, to me, that was sort of the, what do you call that? When you have the rubric, right? Sort of the ideal version of what a legendary gear should be.
Yeah.
It was the only one that offered boosted damage against stunned.
Yeah.
Until Necron Scythe.
So it had a totally unique thing that changed the way that you played, and it was a qualitative difference from all the other gears.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like better.
Right.
Bigger numbers.
Exactly. And if you compare it to Necron Scythe, why I think it's not as good in some ways, but better. It's not as good because Necron Scythe gives you boosted damage against frozen and stunned.
Yeah.
But we're talking just damage output, right? Because Necron Scythe gives you a free revive if you knock somebody out. But based on just damage output, it's got Cloak has boosted crit damage, which makes it even better. If you're not planning on spending a bunch of the fight with low health, 2 of Necron Scythe's abilities don't come into play. Now, the chance to stun on tag in is relatively low. So what you really want to do to take advantage of it is use it on a character that's got built-in stun. And when I say built-in, it means either on a passive or on a special.
Yeah.
And that's why... So if we're talking built-in stun, Luchador Bane, Earth 2 Flash, and Earth 2 Flash's teammates on tagging in, Batman, Static. But to me, the absolute epitome, the best way to use Cloak is on a character that has a built-in stun at the beginning of a special where it's back-end loaded with a huge amount of damage once you stun them with the first part of your special. So we're talking about all the Batgirls with a stun at the beginning of Special 1, and Batman Ninja Batman, who is a stun at the beginning of his Special 2, so he does a huge amount of damage.
Yeah.
And it was a different kind of game before Tantu Totem, because Tantu Totem prioritizes knocking them out to get your power back. Back then, what you'd want to do, even if you didn't knock them out, was just do as much splash damage as you could. So sometimes it would cost you the amount of damage that you could do, but it was so worth it because you're basically doubling your damage if you're using it against the first character on the other team.
By the way, a good gear, great gear if you have the right people to put it on, and well worth having it because it turns back rolls from, all right, fine as a gold card to basically by themselves without any support from anybody else, like a one-woman powerhouse that
Hammer
can
time.
easily take out a whole team.
One-hit KO.
Yeah.
OHKO, as we used to say in Pokemon. Yeah.
So there we go. In the store, we have the Red Lantern Challenge Pack. It costs 200,000 credits versus the regular Challenge Pack, which costs 150,000 credits. And it gives you a 6.16% chance of Red Lantern Hal Jordan instead of the regular 2.86% chance. So we talked about it. We've got to do the math one time coming up. So that we can actually sort of break it down more to see what it's worth. But in this update, there's so much other stuff to talk about that it's probably not worth it. But not a great deal.
Intuitively, it feels like this is a waste of 50,000 credits to just get that little bit of almost doubling your chance of getting one particular character when there's so many other characters that you could just as easily get and be happy with. But then you lose that extra 2-something% has to come from somewhere.
Yeah. So there we go. We also have the character bundle Batman Universe for $24.99 Canadian, and that comes with Flashpoint and Gaslight Batman.
Batman,
I guess. Yeah, Batman's. And it comes with the Batmobile and the Bulletproof Batsuit. So, you get a legendary gear out of it, but you get the worst legendary gear out of it.
Yeah. But you know what? It's marginally better than... Remember when they had the Flash Pack and they just gave you 2 pieces of the same gear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. And then in our Survivor, had the LexCorp gear set until the 7th of April 2021. Phantom Zone is finished right now. Yeah. We have a double XP weekend.
Happy Easter, happy Good Friday, happy Christian holiday.
Fight 62. We are not 100% sure yet. We haven't been able to test ourselves, but reports are that in the update it's still broken.
Yeah.
And then last weekend's breakthrough is Bane, Killer Frost, and Ares, so we expect Sinestro, Green Arrow, and Scorpion to be the upcoming breakthrough. As always, a link in the description for a thread from Devlin16 on Reddit with the breakthrough cycle that you can check for yourself.
Right.
And now into sort of the meat of the video with the update.
Yeah, so moving on current glitches, the playlist that we have, spoiler, nothing's been taken down because what's been tested so far is still working.
Yeah, but if you listen to this video and we haven't gone through everything, and you want to see if anything's different now, other than by like checking the comments and seeing if anybody's talking about it, your best way of seeing what our best understanding of what the situation currently is by checking that playlist and seeing what videos are and aren't there.
Right.
And anything that's up there should be something that you can still do.
Or at least we haven't tested and had it fail on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe instead of going through the not working glitches this time, more relevant is working glitch. All right, so Phantom Zone is out, so we can't test the Phantom Zone reset. But the challenge is there, and the challenge reset works.
Mm-hmm.
Blackest Night Hawkgirl. And the interesting thing is it worked, but it took a few more tries than usual. I wonder if there's been some adjustments that's been made to the timing of it that makes it harder. Because usually it takes me 1 try or 2 tries at the most. This time it took me about 4 or 5 tries to reset it.
So we'll have to do more testing. And this might be, if we figure out a way of getting it done consistently, this might be a good opportunity to actually refilm that video with all of our sort of best tips and best practices for it. But it is still working. We've gotten it to work on our device.
Yeah.
We're obviously going to need some more reports for like different iOS versions, for example.
Right.
Or sorry, different OS
Android
versions.
Yeah.
Not iOS.
Yeah. So we'll still cut and paste the comment from the user 10 Kakde of the work around for re-downloading a bunch of data on Android 10, but we don't really know yet whether it still works on Android 10. We're going to rely on somebody letting us know.
Yeah, and we'll also put the comment from Jonathan Yang on how to reset the challenge on an iOS device in the description. But again, we're going to be sort of working with viewers for the next little bit to try to make sure that we can figure out if everything still is and isn't working, what's different, if anything's different.
Right.
So stuff's a little bit up in the air, but the challenge reset does work overall.
Yes.
On our device.
And so the airplane mode / refund glitch is still working. Good for anything with random drops and also last laugh tickets. And the rest is still up in the air. We're sort of, as soon as we found out, started testing stuff, but we figured we still need to work on this to get this out tonight to at least let you guys know update 3.4 with what looks like no new content, at least for Android, is up. And they haven't patched the most important glitch, which is the challenge glitch. Yeah,
and it seems pretty low effort because our version of the update includes what the minimum iOS specs are for it now.
Yeah.
So it seems like they've copied and pasted the update description instead of like just deleting a paragraph about a platform that we're not on. So pretty low effort.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
But there we go. That's all that we're gonna go through this week. Next week we'll hopefully have a little bit more information, be a little more thorough for you guys. But that's the update as we see it so far. At the end here, we'd like to give a huge thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon.
And that would be Console Peasant and Edwoon at the top tier last word. Mohammed Albshaiti at the Your Message Here tier. Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C., Irvin Ruiz, and Eddydoo, who are supporting us on the credited level. And Chris Wolff, Scarlet Dani, Awesomegamer 2for1, Pavu RS, Gavin Mallott, and Isfar E at the gratitude level.
So there we go. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Komoda.